Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is in Paris for the Ukraine summit with the leaders of 30-odd countries. Before the meeting, the Ukrainian leader gave an interview to French TV and claimed that Putin is going to die. This was probably one of the most interesting statements. Zelensky said that the U.S. is talking through the Kremlin's mouth and reacted against Washington. French President Macron announced a new aid package of 2 billion euros for Ukraine before the summit.
Putin will die soon and everything will end.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky gave an interview to French television ahead of the Ukraine summit in Paris. On his agenda were the developing relations between the United States and Russia. Zelensky said that the United States is influenced by Russian propaganda.
I think Steve Witkoff speaks for the Kremlin most of the time. This does not bring us closer to peace. This will unfortunately reduce the U.S. pressure on Russia. I have spoken with President Trump more than once. Witkoff's statements bother me, and we are trying to share real information. We don't want him to get support because we are fighting Putin.
Zelensky continued to target Witkoff. He said Ukrainian forces in Kursk were not surrounded. He emphasized that this was Russian propaganda.
We are fighting for our independence and existence. We are not surrounded at the front, as Witkoff says. He said that we were surrounded in Kursk, and this is not true. This was done to weaken us. At Kursk, we captured 1,000 Russian soldiers and exchanged them for our soldiers.
Zelensky also suggested that Russian leader Putin will die soon. He said that he will die soon. This is a fact and everything will end. Zelensky also met with French President Emmanuel Macron before the summit. Macron hosted the dignitary at the Élysée Palace. The two leaders held a joint press conference after the meeting. Macron announced that France will provide 2 billion euros of new aid to Ukraine. The aid package includes Milan anti-tank missiles, air defense weapons, and missiles for the fighter jets that France sent to Ukraine. Zelensky, on the other hand, referred to the U.S.-Russia talks at the press conference and said, "I hope the United States has the power to convince Putin to unconditionally agree to a ceasefire